one of my favorite definitions of being rich I've ever heard was Robert Kiyosaki. He said, wealth is your ability to live forward without working. Right? So how many months can you live without working? That's how rich you are. Can you live the rest of your life without working? Probably not. Can you live the rest of the year without working? Probably not. The rest of the month? Maybe. The rest of the week? Probably. The rest of the day? Surely. Right? But what if you learned how to get rich $100 at a time, and you could eventually get to the place where if all you had was a $100 offer, that's the highest offer you had, that you'd be okay and be able to live forward. How many of y'all be excited about that? Say me. Okay, so cool. So while the premium offer, the premium value offer, what people call the high ticket offer, is one of the best ways to get rich by selling expensive stuff to rich people, that's not first base for most people, and it certainly wasn't first base for me. First base would be to sell lower priced offers to more people, okay? And we're going to talk about 3 different $100 offers that you could make starting today. Starting when? Today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Okay, the first offer is a $100 core product. Now, every time I say $100, here's what I want you to think. Every time I say $100, I want you to think $100 or less. Okay? It could be less than 100. It could be 67. It could be 47. It could be 99. It could be 97. It could be 77. So $100 or less. But I'm just saying $100 to save time. Okay, so a $100 core product offer. Now, what is a core product offer? A core product offer is the main product that the business sells. That's a core product offer. Like what? If you are in the business of selling shoes, a shoe is your core product. A shoe shine kit might be a related product, right? But a shoehorn might be a related product, right? Shoe repair might be a related product, but the main product or the core product is shoes. If you sell insurance, insurance is your core product. If you sell fitness training, maybe your core product is a basic workout, but maybe your core product is a nutritional supplement. So you see what I'm saying? So you can have a core product and it just doesn't matter. Maybe your core product could be a book, right? It could be a book. So a core product offer is the main thing the business sells that makes the business the business. Does that make sense to everybody? So we've got a bunch of different core product offers in our business. Now some of my core products are a little bit more than $100, but most of my core products range $2,000 and down, but $2,000 all the way down to $20, right? Like that's the lowest price offer that I have that I can think of is a $20 offer, right? And so I'm going to show you today how with a $100 offer or less, like you can get pretty rich. I've never had a job in my life where I made more than $30,000 a year. Ever. Working a job. But I make way more than that for my core products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Michael to pull up Amazon, my book From the Trash Man to the Cash Man on Amazon, and you can see it on your YouTube screen, right? My book, Trash Man to the Cash Man, somebody is selling it on Amazon for $42. I have seen it on Amazon for as much as $1,100. I've got clients who have bought that book for $180. And they told me, I'm like, why would you buy it for $180? It sells for $20 on my website. If somebody goes to trashman2cashman.com, they could get that book for $20 plus $9.99 shipping and handling, and they wouldn't be paying $42. But they're paying Amazon $42. Why? Because people buy my book for $20 from my website, and then they sell it on Amazon for $42 or $180, and people buy it. Why? Because I don't sell Trash Man to Cash Man on Amazon other than the ebook. So now, that's how much it sells for, but that's a core product for me. But I'm not making any of that $42. But I do sell the book on my website. So in the last year, that book has made for me $81,000. So this is my Trash Man. See, it says TMCM book funnel. So that book funnel has made me $81,492.53 from a paperback book that I wrote 20 years ago. What? That's a core product that I created 20 years ago. Now, I'm not saying you're going to sell $81,000 worth of books. I am saying if you don't write a book, you ain't selling $81 worth of books. Right? I didn't know when I wrote Trash Man to Cash Man, I had no idea that 20 years later, people would still be buying $81,000 worth a year. I had no idea. How could I have possibly known that? I couldn't have. I could not have known that. Okay? So I've got another core product that's less than $100. It's called the Boss Moves book. Okay? That book is selling on Amazon for $55. But on my website, bossmovesbook.com, it sells for how much? It sells for $30 plus $9.99 shipping and handling. It saves you $15 to buy it from me over buying it on Amazon. Now, oh, by the way, I don't. Does it have some reviews? I think it has reviews. It does. Okay, Michael, how many reviews does that have? 9 reviews. But Trash Man to Cash Man had like 1,300 reviews, and it's like 4 or 5 stars. The book is great. That's not the point. The point is, I wrote the book. Somebody bought the book off my website, and they're selling it on Amazon for more than it sells for on my website. Okay, so let's look at my website. How much do we make from the Boss Moves book funnel? Okay, now the Boss Moves book funnel, this is a book that I wrote 5 years ago. I wrote this book 5 years ago. It made me $182,375 in the last year. If you add the $182,000 to the $81,000, if my math serves me correctly, that is $263,000 and some change. If you can't live off of $263,000 a year, you probably should like reduce your lifestyle. Hashtag just saying. Okay? So that's 2 core products out of at least a dozen that are making me over $250,000 a year. Who would be okay with that? Say me. Okay, cool. So then we have my Make More Offers Challenge. Now my Make More Offers Challenge, I'm not even going to show you all the sales. Just the general admission ticket sales, which are $97. Just the general admission ticket sales are $97. In general admission ticket sales in the last year, we've made $145,209 in the last 12 months. So if you add the $145,000 to the $263,000, now we're at $305,000. $405,000 just core product offers. So I'm not, why am I showing you this? Am I showing you this because it's going to happen for you? It's probably not going to happen for you. It doesn't happen for most people. Why? Because most people don't do it. That's reason number one. And most people won't last through the learning curve like I did. Like I didn't make $100,000 my first year as an entrepreneur. In fact, I was an entrepreneur for 14 years before I had my first $100,000 a year. So how's that for transparency? But eventually, I figured it out. Here's the good news for me that I figured out early in year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through 13. Here's what I figured out. The 14 years is going to come whether I make the 6 figures or not, so I might as well stay in the game. Okay, you are tracking. So core product offers, $405,000. No, 408 because it's 83, $408,000. Extra money. Core product offers. This is without any $375,000 VIP days, without any $55,000 coaching programs, without any $27,000. This is just all $100 or less. How many of y'all are getting excited about what you can do with $100 or less? Okay, cool. Okay, so a core product. Now, what's really cool about using a core product, I'm going to do some math on the board now. So I'm going to do some math, and this math might change your life. So if you want to make $100,000, if you have a $100 offer, you need to make, $100 offer, $100 offer, you need to make 1,000 sales. Doesn't that sound daunting? Doesn't that feel daunting? 1,000 sales? That's a lot. Okay. So let's take this 1,000 and let's divide it by 50 weeks because we're going to give you a 2-week vacation. that equals 20 sales a week. Let's divide that 20 sales a week by 5 days a week, because we want you to have weekends off. That's equals 4 sales per day. Doesn't that seem less daunting? Oh, by the way, that's not 4 sales per day, 7 days a week. That's 4 sales per day, 5 days a week. 4 sales a day, $400 a day, like clockwork with your core product offer. 4 sales a day. 4 sales a day. Next thing you know, you got a 6-figure income from a $100 offer. No, this is not $100 million offers. This is not $100 million leads. This is not $100 million models. This is something that anybody can do. When I first started, I used to teach network marketers how to do network marketing. And I created this product called Bigger, Better, Faster Network Marketing. But I had equipment, because you couldn't create digital products back then. You had to create physical products, market them digitally, and then mail them in snail mail to people, right? And so it was 4 audio cassettes. But because I had the ability to duplicate audio cassettes, because I had a tape duplicator, I helped my accountant create a product that he could sell for $97. It was called the Tax Reduction University. I helped him create it, but part of the licensing deal that I made with him was, if I produce this product for you, you are the product owner, I'm the product producer, which means that you can sell it and you don't have to pay me anything. But I can also sell it and I don't have to pay you anything. So I own the reprint rights to it. I said, but if you and I are speaking at the same event, I won't sell your product. That's my guarantee to you. So guess what I did? I got invited to speak on a conference call, because we didn't have webinars back then, and we certainly didn't have Zoom, and there was no such thing as YouTube. And so I had a $67 offer plus his $97 offer, which made $164. But if people bought them together, I'd let them get it for $97. And so this guy invited me to speak on his conference call, and he had 700 people in the conference call, and he let me make an offer, and he didn't want any of the money. He just wanted me to, empower his people. So I got on, I taught for a minute, and, this is the very first month after my website was up. And I was hoping, if I can make $400 my first month online, that'll be great. If I can make $700, I'll be the king of internet marketing mountain before long. And I didn't make $700, and I didn't make $400, but because of this conference call, I made $6,700 my first month. And $5,700 of that came in one day because of that conference call. And it was $5,700 and change. Came in that one day from that conference call. That's interesting. So guess what I did? Can anybody guess what I did? No, I didn't do it again, because he invited me on his conference call once. But what I said, well, if you can get that many people on a conference call just by having a conference call, I'll start a conference call. So I started doing a conference call every week. Before there was a YouTube, before there was a Zoom, before there was a webinar, before there was a Facebook Live, before there was a Facebook. I did a conference call every week called The Hour to Empower at 9 o'clock p.m. on Tuesday nights. And I'm not a night owl. So I remember one night, I'm doing my conference call. It had been a very long day. I literally am in the middle of doing a presentation, and I fell asleep. While I was asleep, my brother was on the call too. While I was asleep, I had a dream that my brother and I were playing golf. And I woke up and said, "Good shot, Dwayne." And he told me, he said, the next day, he said, you were talking, all of a sudden your speech got all slurred. The next thing you got quiet, and the next thing you hear is, "Good shot, Dwayne." Right? And so and all I'm saying is, you think you have to be so perfect. I fell asleep on myself. That's a whole nother level of disconnect right there. Anyway, so my first month online, I did $6,700. Why? Because I had a core product offer. Do you know it only takes, if you have a $100 offer, it only takes 10,000 sales to make $1 million. Now that seems daunting. 10,000 sales? Well, it is. But if you think about think about the fact that there are, 9 billion people in the world? 10,000 people saying yes to a $100 offer, that seems like a very, very small percentage. That seems reachable. It seems attainable. And so all I'm saying is, if you don't have a $100 offer, you can't sell it to anybody. If you do have one, you might not sell it to anybody. But at least you have the potential of selling it to somebody. Your chances are improved by many, many hundreds of percent just by having one. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, cool. So the first offer is a core product. Now, but here's what you are thinking. I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but Myron, I don't have a core product offer. How many of you are thinking that? Who is thinking it? Come on now, where are my people? Okay, a couple of you. That's right, you don't have a core product offer, which is why we're going to get to the second kind of offer, which is a curated product offer. What's a curated product offer? That's where you sell somebody a seat in the room where you create the product. What? What does that mean? Well, here's what most people do. Let's say they want to create a course or they want to write a book. They'll get somewhere in a vacuum where there's nobody but them, and then they'll go into a studio and they'll record it. And it is drier than dog food that's been left out for 3 weeks. Right? It's just dry as a bone. And so they sell it, and nobody likes it, and nobody tells anybody about it because it was terrible. Why? Because it didn't have this thing that I call people energy. So when I'm creating products, I never create them in a vacuum. All of my created products are curated. What does that mean? Boss Move's book, the one that made me $180 whatever thousand dollars last year, that was the result of a roundtable, $1 million roundtable that I had at a live event, and I'm talking to entrepreneurs for 2 hours, and I recorded it. And then I took the recording from that and turned it into a book. Turned it into a transcript, then turned the transcript into a manuscript, and then turned the manuscript into a book, and then started selling the book. But guess what? The recorded 2-hour session that I did with those entrepreneurs, that's one of the upsells on that book funnel. What? Okay, Myron, what are you saying? Okay, I remember. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Here, I'm going to tell you about a product I curated a long time ago. There was a woman in a network marketing company I was in. Her name's Twyler, and she had a leadership call every morning. She said, Myron, I'd like for you to come on my leadership call next week and teach something for 3 days. Okay, how long do I have? 20 minutes. Okay, cool. So every day for 3 days, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and Wednesday morning, I got on her call, and I taught something for 20 minutes. And I made a $100 curation offer. Now, here's what I said. I am going to teach you, because it was a multi-level marketing company, I am going to teach you how to master the skills of multi-level marketers who make 6 figures. And the name of that training is going to be MLM Skill Mastery. Once I create this training, I am going to sell it for $300. I told them, once it's created, I'm going to sell it for $300. But for those of you, because you're on Twyler's call, I will let you buy this product for $100. That was actually $97, but I'm just going to use $100. Let you buy it for $100. You know how many people bought that curated offer from me? That's the thing I love about curated product offers. Curated product offers gives you the ability to get paid to create the offer. What? If you create an information product any other way than curating it, somebody needs to come get your family and take them to safety. Because, I have been doing this right here, I've been doing this for decades. Man, I taught this to my brother. You talk about curated. This was so smart. He came into an industry where he didn't know anybody, but he came to an event where there were a lot of big leaders. And so he created a summit. So he curated a summit. And he invited all these different leaders, and I don't know how many leaders it was. Let's just say there were 10 leaders to all come and do a session. So it wasn't even based on his expertise. He got these other people who were experts. But he put the list together. He said, now, all 10 of these leaders had to email their lists to invite people to come to the summit. The summit tickets were $77. And then all the people would teach. He recorded it. He turned these 10 recordings into an offer that he sold also for $77. So once it was done, he still sold it for $77. If the people who were the 10 leaders wanted to sell it, because back then it was physical products, right? They had to buy it from him. They could buy it from him at half price and then sell it to the people they wanted to sell it to. And all of those people, all these 10 leaders, they all emailed their list, but all the 10 people who emailed their list, they all got the new curated list, but my brother generated a 5,000 person email list in 1 week by curating a summit. See, you think of doing things, oh, it's so hard, right? Because you don't think of leveraged ways to do things. A curated $100 offer can make you rich. You could do different curated offers and just curate an offer and curate an offer and curate an offer and curate an offer. Like every product you want to create, just curate an offer for it. And literally, you could get rich curating one. Okay, watch this. Remember we said $1,100 sales, $100,000. Watch this. So you got $100 offers. You do 1,000 sales. Okay. So that's one offer, but what happens when you create 9 more offers that do the same thing? Now you didn't do 10,000 sales of one offer, you did 1,000 sales of 10 offers, and you still made the same $1 million. How many of y'all want to write more than one book? Right, why not curate the offer to write the book? How many of y'all want to create a course? Why not curate the offer to write? And here's what's beautiful about it. If you curate it and you sell seats, you sell people a seat to your curated offer. If 100 people buy it and it's $100, you made $10,000. Yay. You got paid to create something. Are you going to be terribly disappointed if you only make 2 sales a month for the rest of your life? No, you made $10,000. And the more you do this, the better you get at it. This is how Myron Golden got started. Before I was Myron Golden, what do they call me? Oh, YouTuber. I didn't even know I was a YouTuber until I looked me up on Google, and Google told me I was a YouTuber. How about that? Okay. Okay. So you can curate an offer. Now, those are 2 of my favorite types of offer, but we're not done. Now we're going to put these $100 offer riches on autopilot. If you're ready, let me hear you say I'm ready. Okay. The third offer is the $100 continuity offer. $100 continuity offer. What's that? That's when I sell the product to them once, but they pay me $100 a month from now on. $100 a month. Do you realize I've seen it before Dan got a hold of me, right? Okay. So for some people it's teaching tennis. For other people it's teaching golf. For some people it's teaching AI. For some people it's teaching drop shipping. Whatever it is, you know how to do something. That thing that you know how to do, there are people out there who would love to know how to do it, and they'd be happy to pay you. If you have a $100 a month offer, and you sell 1,000 of those, you're not making $100,000. You're making $100,000 a month. What could that be? It could be a newsletter that you sell for $100 a month. It could be a membership site that you sell for $100 a month. It could be a software that you sell for $100 a month. It could literally be a live training that you sell once a month. You do it once a month. You do it live once a month. And if people want to be on it, it's $100. And now you've got curation on continuity. You say, Myron, why are you teaching us this? I'm teaching you this so that you can get to the place where you stop having to feel like you have to struggle financially because it feels like the right thing to do. Is what I'm saying making some sense? And for some of you, it's how to cook. For some of you, it's how to sew. There are people who created offers on how to clean. I think about Dan Rome. He's one of my favorite stories ever because Dan Rome has built a multi-million-dollar consulting business teaching people how to draw stick figures on napkins. And he wrote a book called Draw to Win, pop-up presentation. He's got like 5 books. He's got 5 books about drawing stick figures on napkins. Makes millions of dollars. And you think your idea is trash. His idea is not trash. It's a brilliant idea. There are a lot of people who want to... I have all of Dan's books. Okay? I have used Dan's books to get better at drawing my stick figures. You think they're bad now? You should have...